What if the punishment for a heinous crime was equally horrific? Today, we're diving into one of the most controversial topics in criminal justice, the death penalty for sexual crimes. It's a subject that ignites fierce debate, pitting calls for ultimate justice against concerns over human rights and the effectiveness of extreme punishments. As we unpack this complex issue, prepare to challenge your beliefs about justice, morality, and the role of the state in administering the ultimate penalty. Let's start with recent news from West Bengal, India. This region has passed a law that allows the death penalty for rape, a move that echoes a growing trend in some countries. But India's relationship with the death penalty is complex. Did you know that in 2023 alone, India recorded 120 death sentences, with more than half related to sexual violence, particularly where the victim was killed? That's an alarming figure. In fact, the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which is replacing the Indian Penal Code, has expanded the number of crimes eligible for the death penalty from 12 to 18, with sexual violence against women and children topping the list. It's easy to understand the public outrage and the demands for harsh punishment. After all, sexual crimes are horrendous, and they leave deep scars not only on the victims, but on society. But is the death penalty the solution? Is it really an effective deterrent? Or does it hide larger systemic issues? To better understand India's decision, let's zoom out to the global landscape. According to recent data, nearly 3/4 of countries have abolished the death penalty in law or practice. That's over 144 nations globally. Yet 55 countries, including India, retain it. In South Asia, the picture is mixed. Countries like Bhutan and Nepal have completely abolished capital punishment, while others, such as Afghanistan and Pakistan, still retain it. India finds itself in a complex position, especially considering its deeply embedded societal and cultural dynamics. This raises an important question. Why do some countries hold on to this punishment? Is it because of a belief in retributive justice? Or is it simply a reaction to public outrage? Understanding these global trends can help us better contextualize India's approach to the death penalty. Now, let's dive into the problems with the death penalty for sexual crimes. One major issue is the concept of escapism. You see, focusing on the death penalty can be an escape route for the state to avoid addressing deeper problems, like reforming the police force, improving prosecution systems, or even supporting survivors. The conviction rate for rape in India, for example, remains low despite harsh penalties. Another issue: procedural flaws. Many prisoners spend years, even decades, on death row, and in some cases they are exonerated later. Imagine spending 10 or 20 years knowing your life could end any day, only to be proven innocent in the end. These delays not only raise ethical questions, but also expose the imperfections in the judicial process. Finally, we have to address the elephant in the room: social biases. Caste, class, and religion play huge roles in who ends up on death row. Marginalized communities make up a disproportionate number of incarcerated people in India, and this holds true in many other countries as well. This raises serious questions about the fairness and equal application of the law. After the horrifying 2012 gang rape in Delhi, India, the Justice Verma Committee was formed to reevaluate sentencing for rape cases. Their stance was clear: the death penalty for rape, even in rarest of rare cases, is a regressive step. They argued that it doesn't necessarily deter criminals from committing these acts. Instead, the committee recommended increasing prison sentences, with options like life imprisonment without parole. One key insight from the Verma Committee was the importance of addressing societal mindsets rather than simply focusing on punishment. They emphasized the need to remove the marital rape exception, arguing that the law should protect all women, regardless of their relationship with the perpetrator. The committee also stressed the importance of comprehensive sex education, sensitization of law enforcement agencies, and faster trials to ensure justice. They believed that these measures, combined with stricter sentences, would be more effective in preventing sexual crimes and changing societal attitudes. Ultimately, their recommendations highlight an important question: is our goal to seek revenge, or is it to create a safer society? The Verma Committee's approach suggests that true justice involves not just punishment, but also prevention and societal change. Let's not forget the influence of public opinion. After heinous crimes, there's often a wave of public outrage, followed by demands for the harshest punishments. This puts pressure on governments and courts to act swiftly. sometimes without fully considering the long-term impact. In India, there's also a deeply ingrained cultural belief in retributive justice. Think about it. Stories of gods defeating demons, avenging wrongs. These narratives shape how we perceive justice today. But when we focus solely on avenging the victim, we often ignore their personal autonomy and their right to recovery. This cultural context plays a significant role in shaping public perception and, consequently, government policies. The challenge lies in balancing these deeply rooted beliefs with a modern, rehabilitative approach to justice. It's a complex issue that requires us to question our instincts and consider what truly serves society best in the long run. As we've explored today, the death penalty for sexual crimes is a complex and controversial issue. We've seen how countries like India are grappling with this, but it's clear that simply imposing harsher punishments isn't a silver bullet. So where do we go from here? The way forward isn't about being soft on crime. It's about being smart about prevention and justice. We need to shift our focus from retribution to rehabilitation and reform. First, we must prioritize victim-centered approaches. This means providing comprehensive support for survivors, from immediate medical care to long-term psychological support and legal assistance. It's about empowering survivors, not just punishing perpetrators. Secondly, we need serious institutional reforms. This includes better training for law enforcement, faster and more efficient court processes, and improved forensic capabilities. We need a system that can deliver justice swiftly and fairly without the flaws and biases we've discussed. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, we need to address the root causes of sexual violence. This means tackling societal attitudes towards women and minorities, improving education about consent and respect, and creating economic opportunities that reduce vulnerability. The path forward isn't easy, but it's necessary. By focusing on prevention, support, and reform, we can work towards a society where these crimes are less likely to occur in the first place. That's the kind of justice that truly makes a difference. As we wrap up today's episode, I leave you with this question. What truly defines justice in our society? Is it the severity of punishment or the creation of a safer world for all? I encourage you to reflect on this and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found today's discussion thought-provoking, please like, subscribe, and share this episode. Your engagement helps us continue these important conversations. Join us next time as we delve into another gripping case that challenges our perceptions of crime and justice. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the world around you. This is MHB signing off from the Real Crime Diary.